I'm glad you're here to listen to wonderful program coming to you. And please don't forget to subscribe or give us thumbs up. Thank you for watching. Welcome to KJ TV. We are having a very special topic about politics in Kenya. We are having the 2022 election in Kenya, and a lot is going on right now. Kenya is already in election mode, and everybody is looking forward to August election. Now in the studio we have George Nyabuto, who is an aspiring candidate from Bobasi. How are you?
Fine, thank you, Daktari. How are you?
Good. I thought you should be on the ground right now. When are you going?
I will be there very soon. You know, it's now that it's officially, the campaigns have started officially.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, welcome to the studio. And we want to talk about what can you say you are seeing about the election in Kenya? What is your take of all of this right now about the election?
Well, you know, as a Kenyan, the way we conduct our elections or campaigns is not the same as it's done elsewhere. If you go to Ghana, their campaigns or elections are more divined and more civilized. Let me say it that way.
Okay.
But the way we do it, there is no accountability. People, you know, say this, tomorrow they are saying something different.
Okay.
But still we go ahead and vote for them. This is the problem that I find, you know, you cannot trust anyone, you know. Tomorrow we change like chameleons.
Okay. Well, yeah, it's
something which will not. Yes, go ahead.
I mean, people don't live to do what they say they are going to do.
To what they say. Yes.
And they say something different. Okay.
Give empty promises.
And now that you are going to run, what is your take? What are the challenges you are given that you have lived outside the country? What is your take? What can you advise people you have seen about the election?
You know, our elections should be well spelled out, well defined, and people should play by the rules. Not like, you know, some people, you know, can bend the rules and do whatever they want. And, you know, the law is not followed.
Okay.
So, for instance, it's in law, like you cannot, if you are a civil servant, you cannot do campaigns. Is it happening? Yes. Okay. The last general elections that we had, the civil servants were just literally campaigning, where the deputy president, he himself, you know, he was happy, like these guys were campaigning for them.
Okay.
But now, the same civil servants are campaigning against him, is complaining. You get what I'm saying?
So the double...
He's complaining. He's saying a double standard. You know, he's saying they shouldn't.
Okay.
Yeah, they shouldn't. So it's like, you know, we don't play us by the rules. And the people that, like, were supposed to be like the role models, they are not.
Okay.
They are not.
Okay. I think so Dr. Ondimuas is joining in. He's on the background. Hello, Dr. Ondimu.
Hello. Thank you for inviting me to your show today.
Yeah, I think you need to position your cameras
Maybe I do.
Running
I
away
think I
from.
okay.
Yeah, I
That,
think
that's better now.
Yeah, thank you for joining.
Thank you very so much.
Yeah, we had started. We have George in the studio, and we are talking about. We had already started about the election in Kenya. In the we are discussing about what is happening in Kenya right now. Like Kenya is already in election mode, and we have seen the alignment going on between the two most contenders, UDA and Azimio. And what do you think is the outcome? What will be the election outcome as you are seeing the trends according to your understanding?
Yeah, thank you for having me again. And it's very early even to start imagining about the outcome, because right now the election mood is up and running, and the country is actually in that early moments of realignment.
Okay.
So we have noticed from the last few weeks, especially the last few weeks, with what may have been an earthquake kind of announcement.
Yeah.
That was, in my opinion, the beginning of the realignments of the political formations in Kenya.
Okay.
And as these formations end up eventually, I believe in the next several weeks, in the several weeks to come, we will eventually see who is who and who is going to go where. And remember, this is going to, the incumbent is not running. And when it's wide open like this, sometimes it's too early to say who is favored and who is not. And you notice that the vice president, Dr. William Ruto, has been running for presidency since 2017. So he might be appearing like he's in the forefront. It's only because he's been running for all those 4 years and almost 5 years now. And therefore, he might be favored, and you might be seeing a lot of crowds following him. But it reminds me of 1991, when Stanley Njino Matiba returned from London from his treatment, and the euphoria he had. Millions of people were following him. At the end of the day, you know who won the presidency. So that's why I'm saying it's too early. It's very early to tell. Now the formations are coming in, but we can tell that there are going to be two formations here. And
there's that one. Oka is there.
Oka is there, but it might be a donkey in this case of two horses. What we are seeing is we only know one person who has run for presidency, and we know how the outcome was. So we know his core constituency of these three who are running. I mean, the two who are running, we know for sure. William Ruto has never run for national office. We don't know what his core pace is. So what we see now is a euphoria for sure.
Okay.
That's my take.
George, what is your take? What is the likely outcome out of this realignment going on? George? I don't know whether he's muted. Hello?
He's not getting you at the moment, I believe.
Oh, George, he might be having an... Yeah, George. You are like frozen a little bit.
You can hear me?
Yeah. Yeah, I asked you the question, what is your take on the realignment? Hello?
Yes, I'm answering the question. I'm answering the question.
Okay, go ahead.
Hello?
Yes?
Okay. Now,
I think you...
Dr. said you know
they're having a network issue.
Might want to come back in, go out and come back in, maybe.
George, can you log out and come back? We are not getting you. Hello?
So as he works on his technical issues, I was going to add that we know of these two people who are frontrunners. We know about how much.
Dr. Judy, welcome in. Dr. Judy is the aspiring women rep Nyamira. Hi, Dr. Judy.
Hi, how are you? Thank
you so
much for having me.
Okay. Okay, wait. Dr. Nim was saying something.
Yes, I was going to add that we know that the former prime minister has a core constituency, and we have seen how much he can bring to the table when he's running for national office. And the President Kenyatta is not running for office. We know his strengths, and for the first time in the life or history of multi-party in Kenya, we are not going to have a very serious contender from central Kenya, which is the most populous region in Kenya. So in this case, honestly, to tell you the truth, the person who will take the chunk of the central Kenya vote will be the next president of the Republic of Kenya.
So given still on this realignment, it looks like it's going to be the new normal in Kenya that a presidential candidate has to make a coalition.
Yes, and as you may have noticed from 2007, I think it's going to be a normal way of, you cannot run for office if you're going to only depend on your background, on your community only. It's going to be coalitions of political parties, and it's going to be coalitions of many communities in Kenya. And as you may have noticed, the 2010 constitution was actually very intentional about that. It's because of the 2010 constitution, which requires people to have at least 24 counties, that is requiring and forcing them to find formations in order for them to meet those minimum constitutional requirements to be president of the Republic of Kenya. And I think that is going to be continuously normal, and I think it's good for the country.
So you think that is good for the country, that we should be having that?
Yes.
And on top of what you said about Central Kenya, actually, this is the first time in the history of Kenyan politics that no serious contender is running from Central Kenya. How would it affect the turnout? Because we have always known that Central Kenya election turnout is very high. How would that affect now that they don't have somebody from their backyard?
It's double-edged, by the way. It's double-edged. We might see a very low turnout if the contenders are not going to whip their emotions to tell them that if you don't elect me, your interests are not going to be protected. It's going to be really bad on you. So again, it might be high turnout, knowing that there is somebody who is going to protect them, especially when they don't have one of their own. They might flock into one region. Remember this, in 1992, they all voted to a man. They voted for Njino Matiba, and they voted for Mwai Kibaki. 2000 and in 1992, that's 1992. In 1997, they all voted for Mwai Kibaki. In 2002, they split into two. They voted for Mwai Kibaki and President Kenyatta at the time. He lost. And then in 2007, they all went to vote for, you know who, Mwai Kibaki.
Yeah.
And they won. Well, controversial as it was. And the same thing over and over again. So this time round, they don't have a serious contender. Are they going to flock and vote for one person? I don't know. But whoever will take 50 plus 1% of the central Kenyan population will be the next president of the Republic of Kenya.
Okay, good. George, we can, hello?
Thank you. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now. I think there was a network issue.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, good.
So I don't know if I go.
Okay. Yeah, you okay. The question we were talking about is that how is the turnout going to be from Central Kenya now that they don't have a serious contender on the ballot?
You see, the turnout is going to be very, very good. Normally people from Central, they come out and vote. This time round, the president is telling them this is the direction that we are going. And more so, they want one of their own to be the vice president or the deputy president. So if that happens, then you expect many more people to come out and vote. Reason being, they are sure after Ruto or Raila, one of their own, it's only this time round. So they expect the next general election to have one of their own. So bearing in mind, these people, they have interests all over the country. Okay. They want their businesses to be protected. So if they have of their own, they are assured of that. So definitely they will come out and vote.
Okay. Okay. Another question is that we have been experiencing election violence in Kenya for many years back. Do you foresee a situation like that happening this year? Yeah, George. George, still your network looks like is weak. Hello? Hello?
Yeah, as he's working on it, I believe that there might be
I don't foresee a situation that
George, we can't hear you.
Around
I think that your network connection, either the internet is having an issue. Hello? Okay. You can answer the question.
Yes. Yes, as you may have heard from the last several months here, people were kind of drumming up the words of more like setting the pace and the stage for electoral violence. And when you start hearing from the early on people saying this is going to be a rigged election, this is going to be like this, believe me, that is going to end up not very good. When you start hearing people, I kind of went back to the history of those people who start complaining before elections are held, that is going to be a rigged election, they end up losing. That's what if you go back to 1992, the first multi-party elections in Kenya, Kenneth Nchindo Matiba, the late Muse Odinga, were actually drumming and saying, hey, this is going to be rigged, this is going to be rigged. And later on, they lost. Same thing in 1997, same thing in 1992, 2002, and on and on. So when you start seeing that kind of talk, and the most recent one was in Eldoret when a senator from Meru was saying about Madoadoa, those are not very good words. It might not be as bad as it was in 2007, but believe me, there's going to be some electoral violence in Kenya. We are almost there. We are going to have electoral-free violence, but we are not there yet. Yes, the answer, we will be having those, but not in the scheme of 2007.
Okay, welcome, Judy. We lost you. We didn't know where you went.
Oh, I'm so sorry. So I lost my connection, but I'm right back.
Okay, you are the incoming women representative of Nyamira. Tell us something. How you are planning to become the women rep, Nyamira?
Yeah, so I realize we've had a lot of issues in Nyamira County, and as young as I am, because all I keep hearing is, you're very young. We don't know you, but I will tell you this. Looking at what my people have done before, or the women reps from Nyamira have done before, and I'm talking about like Alice Nyanchoka. Her index in 2015 was 39.8, and she was at 45, 47 for Infotrack, and she got fired from the electorate in 2017. So in the last 10 years, we really have not had a woman rep actually just representing women. And, when I talk about representing women, we've had a lot of issues, man. Think about it this way. you know, we have more women than men. You know, women are like out there trying to, you know, fend for their kids. You know, they have, you know, fathers who are not around. We have girls who are dropping out of school. So having come from a single family, because my dad died at when I was age 13. I mean, a very successful man. And I grew up in Nairobi, but you know what? I have seen the struggles because I've gone to the village. You know, I've gone to Nyamira. I come from Mtana village. So I have seen how crazy it is, you know, to even get healthcare. So being a doctor, having taught in the US and just going, you know, back to how much we have to support our families. I mean, I want to bring change. I want to be able to give people sustainable help. And, you know, that girl child, we can't forget her because every man comes from a woman.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
would it be hard to ask which coalition are you? We have two very important coalition in Kenya. We have Azimio or UDA. Where do you belong?
You know, I have looked at everything. I know Ruto, you know, and Ruto's intentions, and I know, you know, there's Raila Odinga, but also known as or Alliance Baba. I'll tell you what, I mean, I am sitting here and I read everything.
We are losing you again. We can't hear you.
Oh, how about now?
Yeah.
Better?
Yeah. So you have not declared where you belong, right? Or that doesn't matter. Are you going as an independent candidate?
So I'm looking.
We can't hear you. I don't know why we keep losing. Hello?
How about now?
You need to check your settings.
Mic, maybe?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Yeah.
Now you
okay. So you have not declared where you belong, right?
So I'll tell you what. I mean, I don't not Buddha, but
so you are in Azimio.
I'm tethering between Azimio and just being independent. But those are the facts that I bring to you, and I hope Yamira knows that, you know what, at least we have solutions coming. You know, we have Dr. Judy with her, you know, here, very powerful.
Okay. You can hear that is the challenge we have. Dr. Judy is running for the women rep of Nyamira, and it's declaring about women not being represented. So we hope you will bring the change you are talking about. So do you think there will be election violence? That was a question Dr. Ondimu was answering. Your voice is gone again. Okay. You need to. Can you fix your?
I think she was going to, as she works on it. I think women are most disadvantaged because we come from a patriarchal society, a society where men always take the lead, and women were never seen as community leaders from the very beginning. And when the electoral process begins, women are very disadvantaged when it comes to campaigning. And what men can say in a campaign trail, women cannot. And yes, and for that reason, therefore, women are very disadvantaged because what women can say in a campaign, what men can say in a campaign trail, women cannot.
Women cannot say.
If they say it, then they are branded as anti-establishment. They are branded so many other names that are unprintable that we cannot talk even on air, which is very disadvantageous to women.
Do you know that among the Kenyan communities, I think the communities which have never elected a woman as a member of parliament is Kisi. Kisi people have never elected a woman as a member of parliament. Actually, the women only went to parliament when they had a seat for women representative from the county, and when one lady was nominated to parliament, Catherine Yamato. Since that, we have never had somebody elected as a member of parliament. And why?
Yes, and unfortunately, yeah, and that's very true. And unfortunately, so is it to the Meru community. And when you look at the settings of these two communities, they're kind of very similar. Women are relegated to the background, and they're never given the opportunity and listened to. But I believe there is going to be a change in this case. Hopefully, when people who are as forceful and as aggressive as Dr. Chudi will eventually end up in parliament. Although she's running on the women ticket, he hopes she will make those changes where even women can be competitively compete with men in other seats. Because communities like the Gusii community, the Meru community, those are the only two communities in Kenya.
No, Meru elected a woman in 1978 by election. But
I missed that one.
After 2 years, she was she could not win back again, and she was put in a lot of trouble. And since that time, it was a stint like for 2 years in a by-election, and they have never repeated
not having
that.
a good name here. Hopefully, then Kisi communities don't have that good name for electing in competitive politics, electing a woman.
Yeah,
so I think we need to have that changed.
Yeah, there should be a change. Not only that, we have to take them on a seat where they are running alone. We want them to compete and win a seat among men.
Correct. In competitive politics, yes.
Yeah,
until that happens, I think there's need to have exclusively seats for women. Until it happens that patriarchal kind of thinking goes away, I think it's important to have that seat for women. But also, it's very important for women also to step forward and elect women who are going to fight for women. Okay. Because in the past, we have seen women who are being elected or nominated, but they still sing their men's song. That is a problem. That's a challenge. We need to feel them. We need to see them doing something for women.
That brings me to a point about the cost of election in Kenya. That's where we are coming. Kenya elections are the most expensive in the world, actually. In a recent study by a Netherlands Institute of Multi-Party Democracy, they did a research in Kenya of the 2017 election. And they found like to run for various positions, and I want to put a chart there, to run for a Senate, it requires like 35 million. I averagely, to be a senator in Kenya, 35 million. To be a women rep, you have to spend over 22 million. To be a member of parliament, 18 million. To be an MCA, 3 million. That is a staggering number. For how could a woman have those millions to spend? Could that be the reason why we are not having many Kisi women running?
Those maybe unless Judy wants to go fast.
Judy, what can you say?
Here, I'm going to say this here. I think for me, how I look at it is we are used to a system of handouts, where Kenyans are expecting that, when you're coming in as a new candidate, you need to give us some money, you want to spend on the campaign. And, we're not shy to spend on the campaign. So, I mean, Dr. Omandi, I'm a doctor in the US. I mean, I work very hard. I have children. What I'm saying is, are there projects that I can offer? People need to be offered hope instead of being offered handouts, because a handout is just that. Because I can offer you fish today, but if I don't teach you how to fish, you know what's going to happen? Tomorrow you're done. Then you're going to borrow from somebody else. So what I always say is, I think even being in the US, having family in Kenya, what I've seen is we want to give money. We want to impress, but we don't think about the future. And that's how, we are failing as a community.
But Dr. Judy, if
yes.
you are running, and I know you have done this before, for you
Yes.
to be known when you pass around, directorate will want you to contribute generously to fundraisings, building churches, building schools. You have to contribute to this, contribute to Matanga, which you have done. Are you going to? You are not going to spend money on that when they come to you, your electorate. You are not going to help them.
I'm going to spend money on that. That's why I say, you know what? I'm not poor. I'm a rich girl, but I want to tell my fellow Kenyans that here. I mean, we worked. I worked so hard. Like nobody. I didn't pick money from the trees. I have worked so hard. I've gone to school here. I have a lot of student loans, but I also understand the dire need of contributing to matangas because they're happening.
Okay.
But I also understand that there are systems that we can put in place, like insurances, to help our people just, to say, if something happens, this is what we're going to do. And I think that's what we haven't done in the past. So, those are the systems that we need to build in place. That's how we catch up.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I was going to, I was going to add this, and I was going to ask Dr. Chudi there, who is going to run for office, and I think you saw the chart there that you perhaps will need probably over $250,000 for you to come close to winning that women position, and I probably do have that amount of money that you want to spend, and you're not guaranteed even when you spend that much amount of money, and to Dr. Amandi's point. In that same research outcome, those who came close to winning, they had spent close to $180,000, which is probably around 20 million Kenya shillings.
Yeah,
and they never came to they never came close to winning, and the winner spent close to 40 million Kenya shillings as a women rep. And what you're going to earn, Dr. Chudi, is close to that in a year. But before you even recoup the money that you spend in your elections, you perhaps would be spending a similar amount of money every single month to maintain your feasibility within the county, to be giving out to the community development projects, to be giving out.
Judy, I think the network is not, even in George's network, we can't even see the camera. I can see him in the background, but I'm not seeing. Oh yeah, you can continue. Judy dropped out. She's gonna come back.
And it's a staggering amount of money.
Yeah,
it's a staggering amount of money.
And then now coming to the patriarchal society we are in, like in Busi, where actually properties, all of the riches, I mean, like the family property belongs to a man first. So how would a woman get all the money to run for?
And that's why women are very disadvantaged when it comes to running for office. And from that same research that you quoted earlier on, it says people who are spending their own money and the family money, and some little contributions from friends. And when you are spending this money from friends, they expect something back when you win that seat.
Yeah.
So it's not easy. It's very expensive. It's not only expensive in terms of finances. It's going to be very expensive. Actually, the work begins after you win, Dr. Judy. Here's how the work will begin. You'll find people in your home every single day. They say, Mheshimiwa, tulikupatia kura sasa. Tusaidie. Mtoto wangu amefukuzwa shule. My relative has died. My this has done that. and those will on. It's on and on and on, and on average, you are going to spend as much as $7,000-8,000 a month in those events.
Yeah.
So, Dr. Chuti, maybe you can turn it around and ask her, is she prepared for that? Assuming you win, and you will.
Yeah.
It's not going to be cheap. How you
that you every time you are having people who need your help, you need to give them handouts.
Yeah. So can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, in the US it's been different. So I have I want to tell you a little bit about my history. So Dr. Judy might look a little naive, but I've educated maybe about 17 people since I came to the US. In the US, when you come here, you start from humble beginnings where you are a nursing assistant. And then what happens is, you climb up. So I want people to know that here, for me, I want to help. I want to help a sustainable cause. And yes, so when you talk about 7,000, 8,000, are you talking about Kenyan shillings, or you're talking about
no. Dollars a month you will be spending to your constituents to give them handouts to support projects.
That's after you win. That's after you win. That's not the money you spend in winning the election. After you win the election, for you to sustain that seat, and for you to be successfully sustaining that seat, you have to create some visibility in the constituency. And the only way you can do it is by contributing to those development projects, to those social events like deaths, like hospital bills, like paying school fees for needy cases, which are really very needy, by the way. It would, and that now takes me to the next level here, and I think my friend George has come in. That now opens doors for these honorable MPs and honorable members of parliament to find other sources of income to sustain this particular need. Yeah. And that opens the doors for corruption.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know how then this can be cut off so that the members of parliament who are you go there with very good intentions. You go there with very good intentions. You want to provide those services. You want to provide formulate policy. And remember, the work of a member of parliament is not to give out handouts. The work of a member of parliament is not to contribute to development projects. Their work is to formulate policy and law that can bring development to the people. But it turns around and it says, you're going to have to give me something. You give me food, you give me this. That's very challenging, by the way.
Yeah,
and that opens the doors, like I said, to corruption.
George is aspiring to run from Bobas. What is your take? Did you see you need more than 18 million to run a campaign as a member of parliament?
Okay, let me come in, and it's not easy to run campaigns in country or in Kiev. The matter, Let me tell you, people will want you to give them something, whether you're contributing for schools, churches, and everything else. That one aside, they will still stretch their hands, and then they will be like, "What are you giving us?"
George, still your network.
We can give you an example. There are the
Yeah, I know George has run for office. He ran for office last time.
He was going to tell us something very good, but yes, his network is not very good. He wanted to tell us something. Yeah.
Yeah, Dr. Chudi, have you run for office before, if you will?
No, I haven't run for office before. I haven't. I've been in leadership positions. So I've been a medical director. So I've run budgets before. So it's not like public office, but so as a medical director for a federally qualified clinic in the US, it means that we had to tap funds from elsewhere to help our patients who could not fund their medical requirements. So I think that's where I come in.
Okay.
It's
so are you prepared, as we say that you would have to spend a lot of money, and after winning you have to have a really big budget to listen to your conscience? That is something you can't say in public, but I hope you will.
What do you think, Dr. Nyabuto? What do you think, Dr. Nyabuto? I just,
our time is running. And what are some of the sources of where candidates source money to finance their campaigns in Kenya?
No, I think we need to reach out to our networks. See, for me, I mean, I've taught in the United States as a professor for the past 14 years. I am a provider, so meaning I take care of patients. I have a clinic. I am hoping that people see that really Nyamira is in dire need of help, and we are in dire need of help. Because what we've done is we've outsourced everything. And you know what? I mean, I hope we can even build factories, empower our girls to do things differently instead of tapping out to, the only person who can hire me as somebody like an American company. So I am hoping that I'm talking to somebody today. Because it doesn't work like that. We need to get back to the grassroots. When I see our mothers, going to the shamba every day, when I see them saying, you know what, I have to send my boys with njugu so that they can sell them and pay school fees, I hope that clicks something. Because my brother went to Egerton University. And my uncle was he was a lecturer there. His name is Dr. Ondicho. So unfortunately, he passed away. But sometimes when kids, bright, brilliant kids, lack school fees, we don't have the know-how to support them because we don't know. But if we are able to actually use the media, and thank you, KJTV, you've done an awesome job, because now people know, oh my gosh, if I have an issue, I can come and air my issues there, and maybe somebody will listen to me. But when my brother was selling jugo, he went to Nakuru High School. He's a professor now, and he's giving back to his university. Yeah. So I always say, how else can we do it? Is there a circle that we can tap into? Is there students that can I train?
Okay.
Because I have all this knowledge, but I don't want to keep it to myself.
Our time, Judy, is we have 1 or 2 minutes, and I wanted Dr. Ndimu to.
Yeah, I was going to chime in and say that most of the candidates actually source money from the family covers. They reach out to the family wealth, and they fund their campaigns from the family money. And a few friends come in and support them. And lobbyists, don't forget about the lobbyists who then at the time of you winning, they will come to you and say, can you connect me so that I can get a government contract, and start supplying stuff. And those are some of the people who will contribute to your cause, and hopefully when you win, you will still stand firm and still hold dear the values that you hold dear, the values of honesty, the values of being truthful, the values of actually continuing to give back to the community that you so dear enough. However, what I wanted to end up with as we end up this discussion is these cartels of the people who come to contribute to your kitchen, if they are not very good in business units, they might be the people who are going to corrupt you so that you become part of the network of what many people call cartels, who are actually going to live off the very people that you went out to improve their lives. So that's where the challenge is.
So you go through the campaign and you get tainted. Even if you are honest, it's very hard to stay with the high cost of election.
Yes.
And so I hope when Judy you go there, you will change the rules, at least even how people campaign. So yeah, but our time is over now. I thank you for coming.
Thank you so very much for having us.
Here. Thank you. It was,
Okay.
you know what? Sorry, I'm in my training gear. I was running out in the snow, doctor.
Okay.